Hi, everybody. I'm excited to see you again today. Today, we're going to read a story. Again, our stories come from the Spark Story Bible. And today, we're going to read a story about a queen. Her name is Queen Esther. Here we go. Once there was a young girl named Esther. Her cousin Mordecai, that's a pretty cool name, isn't it? Her cousin Mordecai worked for the king. When Esther's parents died, she went to live with her cousin in the palace. Esther learned new things, wore dazzling clothes, and grew into a beautiful young woman. When the king saw Esther, he said, "I am so happy. I want you to wear this crown and be my queen." Oh, wow. Let's see what happens. Now, Esther and Mordecai were Jews. And many people did not like Mordecai or the Jewish people. But the king was a wise man, and he always listened to what Mordecai and Esther had to say. One of the men who did not like Mordecai was a very proud man named Haman. One day the king said, "I am giving Haman a special job, and because he is so important, everyone should kneel and bow to him." This made Haman happy because he thought a lot about himself. Sometimes people think a lot of themselves, don't they? But Mordecai knew that God was the only one he should bow down to. When Haman saw that Mordecai wouldn't bow to him, he was so mad. And when he learned that Mordecai was a Jew, he was even madder. "This isn't right," Haman said. "I am going to punish Mordecai and all of the Jewish people." Haman saw that the king loved Esther, and that he listened to Mordecai, and this also made him angry. Haman knew that they were Jews, so he planned for all of the Jews to be killed. But Esther was smarter than Haman. "I have found out something important," Esther told the king while they were eating at a banquet. She told him of Haman's plan to kill all of the Jews. When Esther told the king that Mordecai was her cousin and that they were both Jews, the king wasn't mad at her. Because the king loved Esther so much, he gave Mordecai the job that Haman had before. "Here is my ring for you to wear," the king said to Mordecai. "Write a message to all of the Jews in my name and seal the letters with my ring." The letters that Mordecai wrote went to people all across the land, and they celebrated with music, feasting, and dancing. "Hurrah for Queen Esther!" the people cheered. "Because the king loves her, we are saved." The end. You know, Mordecai was pretty smart. He knew that he shouldn't bow to anybody but God, because God deserves all of our praise and all of our love, right? And Esther was pretty brave. That was a scary thing for her to do, to stand up for her people like that. When we share God's love, we stand up for God's people. Sometimes it's hard, isn't it? Sometimes we want to do other things, but it's important because standing up for God's people is showing God's love, and that makes God happy, and that makes the world happy. So let's make a craft together today. You're going to need a couple strips of paper like this. And then what we're going to do is you're going to tape them into a long line, tape or glue, either one. And we're going to make a crown to put on our heads. So go ahead and get your materials. You're going to want some crayons so that you can color your crown, and maybe a pair of scissors so that you can cut it so it looks like a crown. All right, pause me. Go get your materials and make your crown. Maybe your mom or dad or another grown-up or maybe a big sister or brother can help you make it. and then come back and show me what you've done. I can't wait to see your royal crown. Ta-da! What do you think? I did purple and red jewels and some green jewels on my crown. Let's see your crown. Wow, great job! You look just like Queen Esther. That must mean you're pretty brave. Like Queen Esther, I bet you are. Well, it was fun to do a craft with you today. Tomorrow, why don't you try to bring a glass jar? It can be a spaghetti jar that you have eaten out of lately, or any kind of glass jar. It can be small or it can be big. And have your mom or dad or another grown-up wash out the inside for you and bring it, and we'll make a craft out of it tomorrow and hear a story about a giant fish. I can't wait to have some fun with you tomorrow. See you then. Remember, God loves you and so do I. See you tomorrow.